Have you guys ever had like a proper real job interview or anything like that?
Yeah. And it was rough.
Well,
Yeah, I've had that.
Was yours for like McDonald's?
No. For like, it was
like a real job.
Oh, okay.
So like before I decided to do YouTube full time, I was actually still applying for engineering jobs because I was going to do a year in placement, which is in I don't know if they do this in Australia. You could basically, after your second year in the UK,
you have an industry year.
Yeah, it's an
where
industry
you're actually
year.
like just basically working.
Yeah, you get paid to work, and it's normally those kids that do really well in third year as well because they come into it with a lot more like
an internship,
practical experience.
Yeah,
like kind of like an internship.
An internship that actually pays well, and you normally get a job after it. Like they're normally
you get the job offer for that placement after your like year ends,
and some of them might even offer to pay for the third year and the masters. So it's kind of like no downside of doing it, especially in engineering. It's really good.
The hardest part is getting an offer in the first place.
It's really hard to get a good place to take you.
Yeah.
And I remember I did tests for like Rolls Royce and stuff, and they were hard. Like they would make every single one of them. It was so annoying. Yeah. You would apply for it, and they'd make you do this in like an hour and a half long test that was hard as shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And eventually, you just got to the point where you were like, I've done 4 of these in one day, and it took all day, and I know I'm not going to get any of them.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I'm not smart enough to work in Rolls-Royce's jet engine department. I'm just going to be honest, dude, that ain't me, you know? And I had an interview for one, and I just remember them asking me questions, and I'm like, fuck, I can't even like stomach the lies. I don't even have the.
You didn't even have the business style.
I care so little about actually getting this job that I couldn't even sit there and lie to the guy.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't in a normal job interview. I would be like, of course I know.
Yeah.
Of course, you know.
Yeah, I never really like worked any job like before YouTube became a job.
Right.
I mean, like I told the story of how I tried for McDonald's and failed, and then I did one internship like during uni, but at that point, like YouTube was kind of becoming more of a priority that I knew I probably wasn't going to go into this field anyway.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not going to say the company name, but like last like 2 years or so, I've been approached by this like relatively big company, like international, that like really wanted me. And that was the first time where I went into like an actual like proper job interview.
Yeah.
But I didn't do one interview. I did 17 interviews.
Holy shit.
Not to mention, I did some here in Japan, and then I also did some in LA.
17.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I did some in LA. So like when I was like staying at Aki's place in Vegas, they like flew me out to LA just to do like 6 more interviews.
Oh my god.
And then I had to fly back. And at the end of the day, I didn't get the job. So that was like really bummed. But like,
I'd like to think that after the 16th interview, they were like, I don't think so, but let's try one more time. Just to make sure.
And it was like a different person every time as well.
Yeah.
So like, but this is like a pretty big company. Like I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to say who, but like it was a pretty big company.
Yeah.
And it was a company as well that I was really interested in as well, because it's like, oh, like if YouTube falls through, this is a perfect place to work. Right?
Yeah.
Like hell yeah. Like this is my plan B. And so I was genuinely excited to be like, maybe I might get this job. I don't know. And then, but yeah, it was just fun. But I think that just made it so much more stressful.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
No, because it was like, because I was genuinely interested, but it's like, how do I like tell that to the person without sounding like an absolute kiss ass? You know, like,
you actually do want to work.
Yeah, it's like, yes, I love everything you do. Of course, I want to work for your company.
So if you'd got that job, would you have quit YouTube?
Hard to say.
Wow.
It's hard to say now that with the place you're at in YouTube. I remember every person in their YouTube careers thought, maybe I'll get a proper job because I don't know when this will fall
Yeah,
through,
right. You know? It was at that point where I was like, I give myself
There's a lot of anxiety,
you know?
and a lot of what's the word? Like you don't trust it.
Yeah.
Like you don't know.
You think it's temporary.
Yeah, you
even though you know it's not. There's always
yeah.
that gut feeling.
And then I think I can understand sometimes why some people, YouTubers, want to move on and want to do something else.
Yeah.
I understand that. I don't have that interest right now, and I don't want to move on because I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to understand after doing this for like 5 years. I can understand the mindset of why someone wouldn't want to be in that coin flip every day. Is like, well, let's see if I've got a job today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is kind of like, it is really stressful to do, and I think that I've just become used to it.
Yeah.
But if you put someone in this situation overnight, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like,
oh, they wouldn't be able to handle it.
well, maybe not handle it, but it would definitely wear on you, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back to job interviews, though, I do have
sorry,
like a story of like my very first, I'd say real job interview, because you know I've had job interviews for like co-op and like call centers and stuff. They don't really count. We're talking like
they just want to make sure you're not a fucking criminal.
Exactly. All you have to do is just be a competent person, and somehow Joey can even be that for his McDonald's interview. But that's a different story. But like we're talking actual like big boy companies. Okay, you're here for a specific skill set. So this was like before I got my job at the BBC. So as you do as a graduate, you apply to about 10 million different companies and just hope one of them sticks.
Yeah.
So one company that actually called me back for an interview was a missile company. So I would basically be kind of like
missiles.
Yeah, like
what are the missiles are there, Joey?
I don't know. It just sounded really weird. It's like a company that makes missiles. Like,
is that the sound missiles make?
Yeah, pew pew.
So yeah, what do you do? Yeah, I designed.
Get down, the missiles are coming.
But yeah, it was a proper missile company, and I was applying to be like a systems engineer to like design and make missiles. So like obviously I go in the interview, and I'm fucking nailing this interview. Okay, I can't remember how it is. Like the interview was split up into 2 different segments.
Right.
Like there was the one where like they like interview your like personality, and I don't know, I can't remember what that's called. No, there's a technical term.
Yeah.
There's one where like they grill you about, why do you think you'd be a good fit for this company? And you say you're a fucking team player. You're a perfectionist who
what do you want from me?
What are my weaknesses? Oh well, I just
love money. I love money.
I am a perfectionist, and you can't fucking say, look, I just need money and I need to pay off my fucking student loan. Why are you asking me questions that you know the fucking answer to? Okay, so, but like I breeze through that, and I know I'm doing a good fucking job. Right?
Right.
And then I get to the technical interview. And the technical interview, I actually prepared for this, right? Because, I'm applying to be a fucking missile designer. So I should probably know the basics of how a missile works, right? And sure enough, I get to the technical interview and they ask me, so can you explain the broad basics about how a missile works, right? And so
they go pew, pew, pew.
They go pew, 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 pew. No, so I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but my degree is in electronic and electrical engineering. So I was so basically this was going to be a breeze for me. I know how a missile works, so I've done my research.
He's
on
done
this.
the study.
Yeah. And so I start. So there's 2 interviewers. There's one older, serious guy, and then there's one like younger, not exactly a graduate. But he's been there a few years, but he's like at the time he was like late 20s,
like
early
more
30s.
Understanding.
Yeah, exactly. So I start explaining how this missile works. So there's like a whiteboard, and like so I draw the missile, right? And I'm like explaining everything. I'm like yada yada. This system does this. This system does this. And so my final year degree project, my thesis, was on like real-time object tracking and everything like that. So perfect for what I need to explain here. So I start explaining how this missile like tracks different objects. So I draw this rectangle and I label that targets, and then I draw a dotted line from the target to like this missile that I've drawn, right? And so I start explaining, okay, this is how the tracking system works, and the tracking system is in the front of this missile. And so I cordon off the front of this missile, right? And I'm fucking getting into this. I'm like, okay, so this is how my experience with my tracking degree can like help with how I can explain like how a missile is tracked.
You're selling yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm fucking selling myself. And I'm getting into it. And then I look over, and then like the older serious guy was just like, yes, very into it. And then the younger guy was like trying to hold his laughter. He was just like,
oh no, what did you draw on the rocket, Garnt?
And then I look over, and I'm thinking to myself, like, why are you laughing at what I'm doing? I'm like
killing this. Why are you laughing?
I'm fucking killing this. My career is on the line here. I just want to get a job. What could you possibly be laughing at? And then I look at what I've drawn. I've drawn a penis.
How? How did you draw a penis?
I've drawn a big, girthy penis pissing on a rectangle. And
how? How did you do that?
I've actually got a picture, right? I've got to show you this picture.
I was really hoping this story's climax would be about a penis.
Yeah, I was figuring when he was saying he was drawing on a board,
be
a penis was coming.
Yeah, this is
Oh my god,
I'll have to send this to
my
an editor.
God.
But like, I didn't realize how much it looked like a fucking penis until
that's a straight up Johnny Sins dick,
It's-
bro.
it is a fucking girthy
That's
penis.
a veiny motherfucker.
And then,
Holy
as,
shit.
Oh my
and
God,
then as
Garnt.
soon as I saw that, right, I knew I'd failed. Not because I was doing a bad job, but you know when you're in the zone and like there's nothing that could take me out of the zone, knowing that I've just drawn a fucking penis in front of 2 examinees, and then after that I just start stumbling and I forget everything I had prepared. Right.
You failed that test.
So you didn't,
Yeah.
So you didn't get it?
I didn't get it.
Fuck, dude.
They specifically said that I did super well on my like the personality side of things, but the technical side was lacking.
until you draw a phallic object on the
I had-
whiteboard.